Wilmington. Hey, it's Monday morning and it's June. But I thought in June it's supposed to be warm.
It's supposed to be warm, Charlie.
It's supposed to be warm, isn't it? I'd say it's in the mid 50s to high 50s. Jackson Daniel, how you doing today? Good to see you. It is supposed to be nicer this week. I heard highs in the 80s even. And we have the emergency management guy coming on Wednesday because of the heat wave that's coming, Frank. Do you believe that?
No, it's going to rain. I guarantee it's going to rain.
It's going to rain. I agree
It's
with
a
you.
2-day heat wave.
I agree with you. But Frankie Wolf's here today. He's a Wilmington resident for about 30 years. And we're going to talk about several different things with Frank. He's not only a Beatles historian, but he has just survived a liver transplant. And we're going to get to him about 8:15, but he's going to comment. And Reds fan, Bengals fan, Wilmington resident, but a camping resident now, right?
Camping, yeah, camping's a trip. 1 year camping.
I tell you what, we got a Class A, and we just parked it at a campground over in Leesburg, and we stayed in it Friday night. Oh my God, I got to find something better to sleep on. I mean, we got a mattress and we got a topper on it, but it's be like sleeping on that bar up there. I mean, it's just hard. It's like,
You learn about gray and black water is what happens.
Yes, we know what gray and black
You know
water
what gray
is.
and black water is.
And
Go camping.
We realize we have to fix a couple of leaks in our water hose after Friday night. I just bought a water hose from the guy that actually used to have that spot because we need like 90 feet of it to get to the water. And only one little hole in it, and then we didn't have it hooked up right to the camper, so it was leaking a little bit. But we survived. And man, I don't sleep well that day. I got to get something where I can sleep better. Because you got a pretty good bed in yours?
The what?
You got a pretty good bed in yours?
Yeah, it's good. We replaced it. It's a better bed. Came with it.
Now, do you have where all your controls are underneath the bed?
No, all the controls are up on the wall when you first come into the camper, like the slide in, slide out.
Yeah, no, ours like where you turn on the electric, the heat, and all that stuff. It's all at the baseboard of the bed on the bottom, which is kind of weird, I think. But I guess that's where they are in a lot. Becky Osborne, how you doing? JD, now be careful when JD comments because he's a Browns fan.
Oh no!
Yeah, he's
what
a
happened
Browns
to him?
fan. I don't know.
Better than a Steelers fan.
Yeah, that's true. He goes up there too all the time. All right, well, let's get to some news here. Steel and aluminum tariffs are going to double from 25% to 50%. So we'll see what that does to the markets today. I don't know. Everybody's complaining. Canada's complaining about it. EU's complaining about it. But I think the whole idea is just so we can start making more steel and aluminum here at home and using it as opposed to having to import it.
You know, none of it makes sense because the tariffs on all this, and then your president turns around and okays the sale of a steel company to Japan. Explain that one to me, Rick.
I don't think it's okayed yet. They're working on it. Well, but there's some codicils with it.
He's going to okay it with conditions.
Maybe. Yeah. It's not a done deal yet.
That don't make sense. Just like I said, everybody in the world is looking at this country saying, what the hell is going on?
And that's not necessarily a bad thing because the more you can keep them on their toes. Yeah, exactly.
It can put you in the crosshairs of some of them.
Yeah, well, we were already there.
Well,
but since we were giving them money, we didn't.
Makes it even worse.
Debbie Miner's watching. How you doing, Debbie? All right. Well, attack on Boulder, Colorado. Demonstration for Israeli hostages. There's still 8 of them, I guess, being held, and they injured, I think, 8 yesterday. Mohammed Solomon was the guy who did it. Had a flamethrower with a grenade, and he arrived during the Biden administration. Imagine that.
He was throwing Molotov cocktails.
Yeah. And free Palestine, and I guess most of these people were like our ages or older. Yeah, they got hurt. Oh, was there? Most of the ones I heard was 60s. So, not good. Not good. More reason to have the borders the way they are now.
Well, the interesting thing about it is Boulder is extremely liberal. It is a big lib.
Okay.
That mall, everything in Boulder is very, very upscale. Because Boulder is just about 25 miles northwest of Denver.
Yeah.
But so it's interesting that with this happening, everybody's whining and crying about what's happened and this shouldn't happen and all that. Well, they're the ones that were encouraging it with all the
Right.
anti-Israeli rhetoric. So that's what you get when you say that. That's what you get when you allow the kinds of stuff that goes on at Harvard and some of these other campuses like Cornell.
Vicki Kendall's watching. Rita Wolf's watching. Yeah, it's a mess. Well, in Denver or Aurora, isn't that where they took out that gang that was taking over the hotels or something?
Aurora is just the opposite direction. It's southeast.
Okay.
But Aurora is sort of a bedroom community of Denver. It's not upscale by any stretch of the imagination. Boulder.
You know what I remember? What you guys, when somebody says Boulder, Colorado, what first comes to mind? I'm just curious.
The TV shows.
Mork and Mindy?
Yeah, Mork
That's
and
what I think too. Mork and Mindy. That's funny. Yeah.
A little girl that
Yeah. Jean Rene
Ramsey.
Benet.
or whatever.
John Benet Ramsey. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Well, Frankie, you're a sports guy, so this is like championship week here. We got Florida Panthers going against the Edmonton Oilers in the NHL Stanley Cup. That's a repeat of last year. That starts on Wednesday night. Thursday, the Oklahoma City Thunder plays the Indiana Pacers.
Go Indy.
NBA.
Halliburton's great. Halliburton from Indianapolis is a great player.
I've heard several people today on the betting sites I look at said Oklahoma's going to sweep them.
Probably will, but I'm rooting for Indianapolis.
Probably. Well, I want Indianapolis to win too, but
They weren't expecting
Oklahoma
it.
City needs a professional sports win. That's their only professional team.
Right.
They don't have any other professional teams in Oklahoma City.
There's a chance to go Indianapolis Colts, Indianapolis Fever, and Indianapolis.
the Fever
Pacers.
might. Yeah, Indiana Fever. Oklahoma City Thunder, Indiana Pacers. That starts Thursday. The NBA Finals. The French Open Finals are next week. The women on Saturday, the men on Sunday. The Belmont Stakes is Sunday, the
Where's
third
the
leg.
Belmont at? Is it in New York? Preakness.
One of them's in Maryland, one of them's in New York.
One's in Baltimore.
Yeah. Which one
I
is
think
it?
that's Belmont.
Belmont. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, okay, so that's in okay. So it's Sunday, but it's going to be interesting because the Kentucky Derby winner there, Sovereignty, is
Not
going to
running.
be, huh?
One of the horses is not running.
No, they're both running now.
Are
Yeah, Sovereignty didn't run in the Preakness.
Yeah.
Sovereignty's going to be there, and so's Journalism, the Preakness winner. So that'll be fun
they?
watching.
Rematch.
Yeah.
It'll be
I
fun
watched
watching.
pickleball all weekend.
Did you? Was that naked pickleball or?
No, but I'm thinking about maybe buying a naked pickleball.
Go watch out for your pickles, man. That's all I got to say.
This was from Arizona.
Now, are you gonna have Uncle Pickle as your
Yeah.
mascot?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. We had a guy in here last week dressed in a pickle outfit. all day.
Yeah, I saw that.
Jobs reports due out this Friday. All right, this is going to be just a little trivia question here. Sunday is the Tony Awards this week.
Who cares?
No one.
I'm with you.
24-25 season is expected to be the highest gross season in funds in Broadway history. What do you think? How much money do you think Broadway will take in, they're predicting? 50 million?
$50.
$50.
$5 billion.
No, that's less than $5 billion, more than $1 billion.
$5
More than
billion.
$1 billion?
More than $1 billion.
$3 billion.
Less than $3 billion.
$2 billion.
Almost $1.89 billion for Broadway to take in.
Just New York Broadway?
Karen, yeah, it's not the Covington Broadway area.
Well, yeah, Cincinnati Broadway series. And
No, I'm just messing.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I know.
I was thinking Covington or Newport. You know, those Broadways.
Broadway on the levee.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's there.
What?
Da, 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 da. Anyhow,
Newport's not near as wild as it used to be.
No,
no,
it isn't. It's toned down.
Yeah.
and that's probably a good thing.
Become respectable.
Uh,
Almost.
if you're flying United, did you fly to United to go to England?
I fly the British Airways.
British Airways, yeah. Well, if you go flying United starting tomorrow, you got to check in 45 minutes ahead of time. Used to be a half hour. Tomorrow it changes to 45 minutes. Muslim, this is for you, Rick. Muslim pilgrims are going to converge on Mecca, Saudi Arabia this Wednesday for the annual Hajj.
The Hajj.
I assume it's a big religious ceremony. The annual Hajj.
I remember Haji. He was on like it was
Yeah.
a cartoon we had when he was
Yeah.
a kid.
Yeah, Haji,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Was that the, what was the blonde, it was a cartoon, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was a cartoon.
What was the name of that cartoon?
I don't remember that
I
one.
can't think. I know I got work for some Indian. He said he idolized that show. He
Haji?
loved that show. He
Yeah.
said he loved it.
There were a couple kids and the father, and
Johnny Quest was that?
Johnny Quest.
Yeah,
That's
that-
right.
where did that come
Ah.
Hey, we
from?
might have a special guest star this Thursday,
Oh, yeah?
coming actually coming from the river. Mary Ann Dotson, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Karen Lawwell's watching. How you doing, Karen? Dean Thompson. How you doing, Dean? Rita Wolf, Vicki Kendall, Leonard Scholler. How you doing, Leonard? Leonard, I need to come see you because I want to get the oil change in my Blues Brothers car because I can't read the odometer. I can read everything else, but the odometer's dark, and it's probably been 3,000 or 4,000 miles at least. So, but most of these you can go 5,000 on now, right?
That's what I run mine.
Yeah, 5,000. So I doubt I've been 5,000. So, but I need to get the oil changed on that. Let's see what else we got going here. Oh, Nintendo Switch 2 is to be released Thursday for all you gamers out there. You play any games
Nintendo 1, the first original Nintendo. I beat Mario Brothers.
with Pong?
Pong, yeah, I did
Pong,
Pong.
Pong,
I remember Pong when it came
Yeah.
out. I'm that old.
Well, I do too. I remember too.
Are two gamers.
And I tell you what, Friday, you know what that marks? The 81st anniversary of. Think back.
So what is Kevin telling us?
I don't know. It's telling us there's a break. Thanks, Kevin. We'll do that here in just a second. June 6th, 1944.
Kevin, if you get fiber,
Something to do
we'll
with
let
the
you
war.
run the show from up there.
D-Day.
Oh, okay.
81st anniversary of D-Day on Friday this week. When we come back, we'll have a little more news, and we'll be back in just a minute. Yeah,
Indulge in a
Kevin Martin,
variety
he's
of
a resident,
mouth-watering dishes,
Bingologist.
from juicy burgers and fresh salads to stacked sandwiches, delicious pizzas, warm soups, crispy fries, and finger-licking wings. Every bite is crafted with care using hand-grinded and breaded ingredients made right here in-house. Whether you're dining solo or with family or hanging out with friends, we have something to satisfy every craving. That's the Rusty Keg in Washington Courthouse, the best fries in town.
Are animals using your house as their new home? Spring is around the corner, and so is birthing season for wildlife. Give us a call today if you are hearing noises in your attic or under your house. Here at Diamondback Wildlife Extraction, we can take care of your wildlife removal needs and repairs. Nuisance wildlife can be very destructive to your house, such as chewing on or through electrical wiring and much more. Call us today to book an appointment for inspection at 937-302-6372.
You might want to think twice before putting forth any effort in improving your station in life. Why being all it's cracked up to be turns out not to be all it's cracked up to be.
Just ask the Liberty Bell.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Made up news you didn't know you needed to know, including all the latest real news about what's coming to the Murphy Theater
Ohio's hometown theater in Wilmington, Ohio.
with the Murphy Report. Find us on the Murphy Theater website and our own YouTube channel with a new news report every Monday morning.
On a somewhat related note, Amanda, in my youth, I was once referred to as all that and a bag of chips.
I imagine nowadays you're referred to as all that and an extra large bag of chips. Fried in lard.
Absolutely. The Murphy Report. Remember, if it's news to you,
It's news to us.
Let's get personal, personal. Let's get personal, personal. Sundays, fun days. Join Mary Ann Dodson, Dr. Jeffrey Schusler, Sarah, play me like a piccolo fife. For Let's Get Personal, learning about all the messed up relationships of our young people today. I can save that boy. I can save him. Sound familiar?
No, it doesn't.
No?
No, who was it?
I'm just saying in general.
Oh, okay.
Frankie's had to deal with that. You got a kid. What's your youngest kid?
My youngest kid's 26 years old.
26. Do you have any of them still living at home?
Two of them. 26 and 33. That's just guessing. I do the math. Yeah, anybody out there and wants my children live with you, I'm more than happy to have them come live with you.
That's like I saw a thing on Family Feud the other day. What's one thing? The question was for the first thing. What's one thing you'd like to give away if you could? And this woman, my children.
I've lived my life. Go on, go live the life.
Yeah.
Live a life.
Well, you got a bunch of them in there. I tell you what, him and his wife Joyce teacher at Clinton or at Miami Trace, and I tell you what, they are saints. They put up with a lot. They've been my kids. They've been down on Sugar Tree or something.
That's why I tell them that's the next stop is Sugar Tree Street.
That'd be my thing. I only got two more news things. Donald Trump. I know you're not listening, but if you do listen, because your phones listen to everything. Donald Trump, just get away from the Ukraine and Russia. Ukraine Sunday bombed Russian airfields to the tune of $7 billion in damages. Neither one of them want a ceasefire. You know, you talk about ceasefire, hell, next day they're out bombing each other.
They're not willing to negotiate.
No, it's like,
They're both dead set on what they want. And that's
you know.
So now the Russians are saying tactical nuclear weapons could be in the works.
Well,
We need to get out of NATO because we're going to get drawn into this. If we're in NATO and something goes awry and a bomb ends up in Poland or wherever, we're going to end up having to go into this whole thing.
yeah, it could be. Yeah, it's just dumb. That's why I just said, Trump, get out of there. It's not worth it. Hi, Sean Poole, how you doing? You know Sean Poole, don't you? You've heard of Sean Poole? Huh?
Maybe I do.
hi, Sean.
He's a country artist. He just got signed. He's got a single out now on Spotify. Guys, if you're not following Sean Poole.
Donuts.
Oh, donuts. There we go.
Whoa.
Oh.
Special delivery.
You saw I put down Buckeyes, didn't you?
Plain City.
Plain City donuts.
Now, I don't know if any of them's chocolate. Let's see. What is it you like?
I like any kind of donut.
Charlie.
If it's food, Charlie likes it.
That's right. I haven't ate anything today either. Do you know, Bill?
Folks, I will say this. We're going to let Charlie get the first.
Hey!
There you go, Charlie. Looky there. Huh? How about that?
Thank you, Bill.
Okay. Hate to invade. Photobomb.
Maybe I'm
Jerry.
way out of it. That looks good.
Oh,
Yeah, there's you. Do you want?
These are
want
Amish. These are from Plain City.
I'm way out.
gosh.
It'll be gone.
That's a lot.
It'll be gone by the way out. I'm just telling you. If you want half
I
of
got
it,
Manjaro going to me.
I do too.
I'm not eating a thing.
I got Manjaro, but I took it last Friday. And this, if I eat
Oh,
this,
at the end, Jay, you get hungry.
huh? What are you on? 15?
No, I stayed at 5.
I'm on 15.
Yeah, he's trying to raise me, and I said, no, I'll be too skinny.
Yeah, you don't really need to be losing weight. Was it for sugar or is it for your liver?
It's sugar.
Okay. All right. So Frankie Wolf's here today. Bill, thank you.
You're quite welcome.
If you want to join us, you can.
And
We'll have to pull up a chair.
Sports.
I tell you what, hang on to the next break and we'll get you up here.
Okay,
All right.
that's good. I'm not here to invade.
But no, you're fine. Bill Lehrman's in the house, but you don't know Frankie.
No.
Frankie's a Wilmington resident forever. This is one of your school board members.
Yep. How you doing?
Yeah,
Nice to
I'm doing
meet
good.
you. All right.
Yeah, he's no relation to Eric, so you're good.
I didn't know Eric McGee lived in Wilmington.
Not Eric McGee, you know who I'm talking
I got
about.
a report for you on East Home graduation. See?
Okay, well, good, all right.
On your news
Well,
guy.
well, Bill, here's the, I'm
Have
gonna,
those cannons at the
No.
East Clinton?
no. Anyhow,
I thought they got a good deal from Wilmington.
we do go off, you're down the
I
rabbit
know
hole.
nothing. I'm
Yeah,
from
you
Don's,
know
so I know nothing.
Okay,
Hogan's Heroes is one of my favorite shows.
all right, Bill. All right. Frankie is here, but Frankie just had a liver transplant. But Frankie, before you get into that, tell everybody about who you are, where you've been. Just give them a little background for people that don't know Frankie Wolf.
Yeah, I was born in Fort Knox, Kentucky. Lived
Do you
in,
know
grew up
if
in.
there's any gold in Fort Knox?
I don't think there is. I don't think there's a.
I don't think there is either. They've got quiet about it.
Yeah, they were going to go and film it and show us, and they
That's
didn't
like
do it.
we misplaced it.
Just like Epstein's files,
Lists,
they
yeah.
disappeared there.
It just all quiets down when they don't have anything to say.
I came over here from southeastern Ohio, Perry County, New Lexington, it's south of Zanesville. Came over in '97, and right around there, like I said, the Kehoe brothers just did their little thing in front of Krispy Kreme, and lived over there in McDermott Village for 28 years, something like that.
And your wife, she teaches at Miami Trace. How long has she been teaching?
Oh gosh, since 1992, way back in the 90s. She'll be
Okay.
retiring this year, she said.
Is this it?
Yeah, get her subbing over at Wilmington. That's what I hope she does.
I heard you were a big fan of the Beatles.
I love the Beatles, and I just went to a Beatle festival last week, and or a week and a half ago, and 5 days of nothing but Beatle music. Bands, probably 50 bands.
Wow.
It's a good time. It's down in Louisville, Kentucky. So, yeah, I love the Beatles.
But he was just over there in Liverpool, right?
Yeah, I was in Liverpool in April, beginning of April, and we go back. I just got tickets going back in July. We got friends over there. Go back and visit friends. But a lot of fun.
How many times have you been there?
Probably 10 times.
Have you really?
Yeah, I don't go
Wow.
on tours. We just go in. I can get around now. I know the
You know where to
trails.
go and what to
Yeah,
do and
kinda
all
easy.
that.
It's a lot of fun. If anybody's got a question about Liverpool, I'll be happy to
Yeah,
answer.
look, yeah, Frankie's open to answer any questions, and he's got his phone on so he can see them. Anything Beatles, Liverpool, that's like Liverpool.
London,
man.
Liverpool.
Yeah. Do they make you pay the entry fee now for England?
I got to figure that out. I didn't. They say it's $18.
Yeah.
So like to come in, it's like an entry fee
Yeah.
to a game or something. You know?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like the fee. The fee
To get
come
into
in.
European countries.
Yeah.
That's a tariff.
It's a tax. There's no doubt about that.
Did you have
Yeah.
to pay it?
I got to check in on that. You got to pay it before you go. I don't know what they do if you land and you don't pay the $18.
Well, you just went.
That's about 12.
Did you have to
12
pay it
pounds.
the last time?
No, I didn't pay in April. I think it started June. I think June or July. I got to look into that.
That's nuts. I've never heard of such a thing.
You think Trump would have figured that out now and charge everybody $20 to come to America?
Why not?
Why not? Yeah,
If they're doing
they're
it,
coming
why can't
anyway.
we? Exactly. Well, it might be a few less that come, but not very many. All right. So, take us through what happened to you. When, like, you've been sick for a while, haven't
I've
you?
been sick for a long while. Probably longer than when I first noticed it. I drank, but I wasn't a drunk. I wasn't an
Right.
alcoholic. It was easy to quit drinking. So I quit. The hardest thing about stopping drinking is all your friends drink, and you're out in all these places,
Yeah.
and everything's about drinking in this world anymore. So that was kind of tough. That took a couple years to get around that. But back in 2013, I was losing blood, and I went to a doctor here in town. I won't say his name because I don't like him very much.
Okay.
But saw him, and he was treating me, and he missed everything. He didn't see I was bleeding inside. He didn't see anything. I call him my blind doctor now. He's my blind doctor. But we went through that until 2014. We was watching the corn festival up in front of the Ziegler's, and I started to pass out. So at that point, I went to CMH, and they kept me for a week, and then they weren't prepared to work on me, so I went to Bethesda North, got a new doctor, Dr. Weber, who retired, and they found out I had cirrhosis and I had bleeding varices. And what happens is from your heart down to your liver. I had fatty liver. So if you ever hear you got somebody out there's got fatty liver, take it serious. But anyway, the blood can't get through, so it's got to go somewhere. And what it does, it creates veins in your stomach to your esophagus, over to there, and you bleed. You bleed into that. The blood's got to go somewhere.
Wow.
So I was bleeding into my stomach and in my throat. So they fixed that and gave me on some medicine.
Could you feel that, or could you tell anything? Yeah.
I was just really tired. Back in 2013, I came home from work, and I was just so tired. I'd just sleep since I got home. And we knew something was wrong, but that was the blood, losing the blood. And so I did that, went there, and he treated me for 10 years. So I went from 2014 to 2024, and just on medicines and diet, and that kept me alive.
Yeah.
And then in 2014, say April, I died, pretty much died. I had sepsis.
2024 or 2014?
Yeah, that was last year.
2024.
Just before I got my transplant.
Okay.
And I went to CMH, and I won't say who did that there, but they misdiagnosed me, so I had a backache. And so I was laying in bed for a couple of weeks just hurting. Yeah, my kidney was going bad. I was dying. And so I went to Westchester, UC, and they took care of me. But I had sepsis. I pretty much died. Joyce called family, and I woke up, and all my family was there. So it was pretty serious.
Oh, jeez.
About 2 weeks later, I get a call. They said, "You want a liver?" And I said, "Sure." So that happens quick. You get a call, and then they say, "Get down here." So it's 5 o'clock. They called me, and went down, and they prepped me. By 8 o'clock, I was heading back to the operating room. 8 hours later, I had a new liver.
Wow.
And stitches.
So you were on the list then, or not?
I was on the list only 4 days.
Wow.
So she put me on Friday, and they called me Tuesday.
And a lot of that it's not so much how long you're on the list, it's where you're located, probably, isn't it?
Well, UC actually, she said they had an abundance of livers. I don't know why, but they did. And she goes, "This will happen quick when I put you on there." And it did. It went real quick.
Wow.
So 4 days isn't the normal, but Cincinnati University will get you quicker than most places. But there's different places you can get your operation. Columbus,
Right.
Cleveland.
Is there as much danger of rejection for a liver as there is other organs?
Yeah, I have to take medicine the rest of my life. It's
Okay.
tacrolimus and mycophenolate. You got a question? Good morning, JJ. Hi, JJ. How you doing? Hope things are going okay for you.
JJ was on the show last week. Remember I said?
Yeah. JJ's a good lick.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
but yeah, you get rejections of fear. A lot of people get rejection that first 3 years. You go back in, they just load you up with steroids. It usually kicks you back in, but that's a fear. You go, you worry about 30 days. That first 30 days real critical. You get sick. You don't want to get sick. You have no immune system.
Right.
So you get past 30, then you go 60, 90, 6 months. At 6 months, you're supposed to start feeling better.
So how long has it been now?
Been just a little over a year.
Just a little over a
the
year.
They say everything's healed inside of me. And I feel like it's healed, just a little weak sometimes. Yeah.
So you feel pretty good then?
Yeah, just a little tired this morning. I had to get up early to come in here.
I know. Well, so really that's crazy. And I've got to say this, and I'm not saying it to be a jerk, but I've told other people, well, because I can be a jerk. But anyhow, hey, be careful over there, Eric. All right, now.
Still waiting to get up there.
Yeah, but you'll be next on the hot seat.
Question mark after I put the apostrophe. Really?
Anyhow, in all seriousness here, folks, if you don't feel like you're getting the right answers around here, and this isn't a shot at anybody, but it's a health deal. I mean, the Cleveland Clinic, yes, is 3 hours away, but I tell you, I have told so many people to go to the Cleveland Clinic. Man, most people adhere to my advice. I have a friend, I just talked to him Saturday. He lost 80 pounds in 3 months.
Wow.
He's been in 3 different hospitals for 5 days each, and none of them can tell him what's wrong. I say, go to the Cleveland Clinic. You're going to find out. I had another friend in Sabina. His wife had this terrible rash, painful rash on her back for months and months and months, and he finally just got sick of it. He took her right to the Cleveland Clinic. A week later, she's okay.
Yeah.
So, and I had another friend. I told him to go to Cleveland Clinic. He didn't listen to me. A year and a half later, he's sitting at the James in Ohio State University trying to get stuff done there. And guess what they tell him?
No.
You go to the damn Cleveland Clinic. If he'd have listened to me a year and a half earlier, like when I told him, he might still be alive today. You know? JJ, there's nothing, and going to Christ Hospital is fine. I'm talking about for people like Frankie there, who went through almost 10 years, didn't even realize what the hell was going on for sure, right?
I knew what was going on, but it took 10 years for it to fail.
Yeah.
Some people, it's immediate. You know, you go in there and they know at the last second they have cirrhosis and they die.
Yeah.
Or if they're drinking a lot and they find out they don't get a liver. If you're drinking, you don't get a liver.
Right.
You got to go 6 months without liver, and they can do a blood test. They did a blood test on me.
Yeah.
They can tell you if you're drinking or not. It just shows up in there like days and weeks later.
But does it show up like if you're an alcoholic, or does it just show up that you might have had a drink?
It shows up. Well, there's different levels, like 0 to. I think
There is different levels. Okay.
Yeah. So, but you go in saying I don't drink a drop because you want your liver, and I didn't, so that was easy.
Yeah, so that worked good for you.
Yeah.
But some people would have a hard time with that.
Yeah, they do. They do. It's not easy for a lot of people.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in just a minute.
Roller Haven is located at 1640 U.S. Highway 22 Northwest, Washington Courthouse, Ohio. The perfect place for a day out with the family, birthday parties, and even an organization, event, or fundraiser. Check out our website, rollerhavenwch.com. Or give us a call at 740-335-6481, and we can help plan your event. We look forward to seeing you there.
Forget the clown princes of basketball, the Harlem Globetrotters. There's a new all-star, family-friendly comedy polo team taking the sporting entertainment world by storm. The Equine Trots.
Bringing their highfalutin, high-kicking, mallet-swinging, horsey hijinks to an equestrian center near you.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett. Made up stories just like these.
As well as real news about what's coming to the Murphy.
Ohio's hometown theater in downtown Wilmington.
On the Murphy Report. News the way it's meant to be delivered.
In less than 30 minutes, or it's free.
The Murphy Report. Find us on the Murphy Theater website and our YouTube channel with a brand new report every Monday morning.
Amanda, my buddy Sam was recently tossed from his own horsey all the way across the arena, landed in a soft bale of hay right next to another horse that was already asleep.
Oh my, that sounds dangerous. What's his condition?
Stable.
The Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
it's news to us. Dough nuts. Getting a makeover and a name change.
It's every baker's nightmare. Buckling to the snowflake social media pressure, America's tasty glazed treats will now be known as doughy, emotionally compromised yeast rings.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Why wait for real news when you can get all the made-up news you need?
Along with the facts about Ohio's hometown theater, the Murphy.
On the Murphy Report. Find us on the Murphy Theater website and our own YouTube channel with a brand new report every Monday morning.
I have tried so hard to cut back on my daily doughy, emotionally compromised yeast rings intake.
Really, Steve? No one has noticed. And I mean no one.
The Murphy Report. Remember, if it's news to you,
it's news to us.
Texas to go home.
You went out drinking, probably.
All right,
Well, they
game
shot a
on.
man's cow.
You might want to do this someday, Frankie. We're
The
going to have a game.
guy asked Mick, he said, can you go out there and kill that mule out there. And he goes, I don't want to do it. And Nick said, oh, you want to kill your mule? And he said, yeah.
Game
And he went
shows
and
are
told Billy,
coming.
he goes,
That's all right.
it's a great story.
Lehrman's up here, so you gotta expect it.
I can finish each one. It's a great story.
We're back, and look at this dapper young man that joined us today. Bill Lehrman, what? You weren't supposed to come on
got a
today,
new
so you
haircut.
clean up for it.
That's right. Yeah. Well, see, my schedule got flipped. I have to be off today, but then I'm riding in the rest of the week down to Chillicothe. That's why I won't be here on Friday morning. So thanks to, let's see, I think, let's see, Rick Morton's going to be here, I think he said.
He
Yeah.
said something about it.
Yep. All
Let's
right.
see. So what you got, Bill? Give us a little
Well,
quick report.
I'm your de
and we'll get back
facto
to Frankie.
sports and education man, okay?
Okay, go
So
ahead.
Saturday night, went to the East Clinton graduation. Very nice ceremony. Had 85 in the class. They actually awarded 77 diplomas that night. And a couple of interesting notes from it. Bob Carey, Dr. Bob Carey, who I basically consider a mentor to me. I mean, he's been there for forever, it seems. 36 years, he's kind of winding it down. He said this will be his final year as a board member at East Clinton. And something that kind of touched me a year ago, and talk about that special recognition. They call it the Spring Regional Meeting, the Spring Regional Conference. It's over at the Career Center of Xenia, there off 35, and it's held in April. Well, if you recall what happened last year, and it was just a sad situation, Bob lost his wife, Lana Sue. She passed away in her sleep. And lo and behold, it was within, 30 days, 40 days more or less, of when he was going to be recognized for 35 years being a school board member. And it was just a shame that his wife could not be there with him. And, of course, for many of you, as you well know, Doc's profession, he's been a veterinarian for years, and he retired as the state vet. He was appointed by Tony Forsheet to be the state veterinarian, and that was back during the time with COVID and everything, too. And so, you know, I've always admired the man. I mean, he's just a mentor to me and to a lot of people that, you know, he fits the qualities of what being a good school board member is. And I think back to the time I can share the story with y'all. I've always had an idea of being a transportation supervisor for the school districts, and I interviewed at East Side. The east side and the west side.
It's worse than having a death wish.
Well, now I'll tell you what. It's something that I really just took to heart. And I interviewed many years ago, about 10 or 12, when Ron Ruddick was the superintendent, Clinton Massey, and his operations director was Jim Brady. I lost out to Jim Reveal, but the nice thing was they said, boy, if we could hire two people, think what we would have for transportation supervisor. Billy could handle all the complaints and the issues, and then Jim could be the transportation director. Well, fast forward to 7 years later on, Gary West was the superintendent at East Clinton, and Bruce Davis had stepped down, and he actually took a job at Wilmington as maintenance director, so the job was open. And came down to me and a gentleman by the name of Rocky Cinnamon, and just missed out. I was that close to being transportation supervisor. I guess in looking back, one thing about it, if you ever want to be a transportation supervisor, get a CDL. Now, by gosh, I can tell you this. I could drive a grain truck for my dad. I only wish I would have had a CDL, because then we would have been on equal footing.
That's scary.
And, yeah.
You know that?
What's that?
If you'd have been a transportation director, our offices would have been just across from each other.
Are you kidding
That'd
me?
been scary. That'd been scary.
Well, people do tell me I'm pretty good at conflict resolution, so I think I could have handled it from that aspect. But two former board members that come to mind that were on that board at the time, too, and I really like both these men. We lost two good people, Mark Guerin and also Tom Terrell. Had great relationship with both of the men from a professional standpoint. Boy, I can't talk today. But a professional standpoint, and I liked Tom real well, waited on him for years at Haig Motors, and also Mark Guerin. I sold Mark and Cindy some tires and everything like that. Tim Starkey is now their representative, too, on the Great Oaks board, and that's something I'm looking forward to doing next year. What I wanted to do was also mention something that they do at East Clinton, and I think many of the other school districts ought to do the same thing. They also have a recognition for outstanding educators at each of their buildings. So I wanted to give a shout out to these people today. The outstanding educator, as chosen at New Vienna Elementary, was Heidi Smith. At the Sabina Elementary was Amanda Burdham. East Clinton Middle School is Laura Lynch, and the East Clinton High School recipient for that outstanding educator honor was Bobby Bloomfield. And outstanding support staff members for food service was Dina Gruber. Educational aid was Chelsea Winnington. Transportation, Carolyn Brown. School bus driver, 39 years.
My next door neighbor.
That's unreal. Well, her and Eddie are two of the finest people you'd ever want to meet on the face of the earth. I like them both. Eddie works as a custodian over there at the county administration building now, and in maintenance, Joe Nienover, and a lady that I've known for years. She used to wait on me and Deanna for many times at Gold Star Restaurant, my favorite hangout, obviously. Dawn Bozier. Dawn was recognized as the outstanding support staff as a secretary, and she just does her job really well. But wanted to give a nice shout out. It was a very nice ceremony. They had it, I think, about 89, 90 minutes, just about an hour and a half from start to finish, and it was a real good time. So I've been to 3 of the 4 graduations this year. The only one I didn't get to attend was Clinton Massey, and I was covering a baseball game at the time. But, obviously being on the Wilmington board, and then I covered the Blanchester graduation for the News Journal, and then was there at East Clinton on Saturday night. And they got the new floor down, so it'll be interesting when they're taking the mats down and everything. I think they even did that after the ceremony was held Saturday night and so forth, and it'd be nice to see what the gym looks like. One thing I always say about every time I travel to East Clinton, they've always treated me royally, and I'll never forget Roger Barber and I got to cover the very first game in that gymnasium. I can't tell you the exact date, but I do remember the year. It was in 1981, and the officials were, God rest their souls, Marvin Peterson and Bruce Taylor.
And I was playing drums in the pep band.
Were you really? And it was against Fairfield Leesburg, backyard rivals. Yep. A lot of good memories there.
Well, appreciate that, Bill.
Quite all right, my friend. But yeah, I told Deanna when we went, Scotty took us up to Der Dutchman there at Plain City Saturday for Father's Day and birthday, and I said, we're going to take some donuts back, and I said, I want at least 4, because I said, I'm going to stop down and see my boys down there, and I said, I owe Charlie some donuts, so definitely.
Don't owe me anything.
There you go. Well, I wanted to take care of my guys here.
JJ brought us in 12.5 last week.
Yep.
What'd you bring us in? Oh, no,
I brought it in myself.
That's all right.
I got myself out of bed and drug it in.
Bill
Congratulations to you, man. I'll tell you what. It goes to without saying, you get that bad news, whether it's the C word or something else, it's what you got inside of you if you want to fight it or not.
Yeah,
I
not for the week, I'll tell you.
Yep.
Not for the week.
I understand. All right, good job to you.
Yeah, thank
and fellas, guess where I'm headed now?
To work.
Well, no, not quite. I'm off today. Over there on the corner, St. Columkill.
Oh.
Okay.
Go say some Hail Marys.
I'm going to say some Hail Marys, some Our Fathers, and as I say, every moment that you can wake up and put your feet on the ground, that's quite an accomplishment.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I'll see you guys a week from Friday, and I'll bring my boss with me too, Deanna. She'll talk about her trip. She's going to talk about her trip to California.
Yeah,
and my hope is, here's something I'm going to try to get done too. I want to try and get baseball pitcher Kip Young here from Morristown, from White Oak, and he'll talk about his experiences with the Detroit Tigers. And I remember Dave Walker and I watched him pitch up there back in the late 70s. So my hope is to get him on here on a future program down the road.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right.
Sounds good. Well, Bill stopped in, and yeah, anytime Bill brings us donuts, we got to give him his 5-10 minutes. So,
and as one of my radio colleagues would say, Gary Burbank, remember him, Gary Burbank?
Yeah.
I must be off.
We already knew that.
Take care of yourself.
All right, see you, man.
No offense, Bill, but we already knew that.
Oh yes. Well, it kind of fits with me, I think. Yeah.
All right.
That kind of.
Well, I tell you what, that took us up to the next break. So we'll go ahead and take another break, then we'll come back with Frank. Well,
some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the game is actually over before you storm the court. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
It's an effort to warn wild weather worrywarts, a new initiative coming before Congress to force thunder to roll before lightning strikes.
A shocking proposition that is sure to spark some debate, with a 70% chance of failure sweeping in overnight from the Dakotas.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Stories we make up just for you, and the latest on what's coming to the Murphy Theater, Ohio's hometown theater, every Monday morning on The Murphy Report.
Find us on the Murphy Theater website and on our own YouTube's channel.
You know, Steve, I was once struck by lightning.
Oh, really? Any after effects?
Yeah, every time I sneeze, my garage door opens.
I had something similar happen to me. Every time I bend over to tie my shoes, I rip my pants.
Oh, from a lightning strike.
Yes.
The Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
It's news to us. City officials forcing a local beloved mascot to step down.
why poor timing and inappropriate behavior doomed a pantless Wilson the Weasel following his drunken performance at the late Judge Garrett's funeral.
There was nothing routine about this routine.
A story we are dedicated to getting to the bottom of.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett. These made-up stories and the latest real news from the Murphy Theater are what you've come to expect from us.
On the Murphy Report, with a new report posted every Monday morning on our Murphy Theater website and our Murphy Theater YouTube channel.
Full minute-to-minute coverage all 21 hours a day.
With veteran news anchors Vanessa Del Rey and Breck Stone.
Amanda, I have to say Vanessa and Breck are just about the two finest anchors in the business.
For once, you're absolutely right, Steve.
I think the Titanic could have learned a thing or two from these two giants in their field.
What am I missing here?
Anchors.
The Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
What do they call them?
It's news to us.
The judge or post. Oh, yeah, we're back.
Mediators.
Yeah, well, yeah, the people that, well, no, what ain't mediators? What was the name of the people on Facebook I used to always tell you? No, not me. No, I'm talking about from Facebook. The fact checkers.
Oh, okay.
See, you could block them, you know. So I got a whole list.
Block the fact checkers?
Yep, you could block the fact checkers. And I did that with a bunch of them. I mean, I'm serious. It's like, well, who wants that crap on
They're
there?
having the fact
Probably
check.
not on there.
Well, Trump's president. That's why they're not on there. You know, they don't have anybody to pick on. So, now, Frank, you just kind of glossed over. Bill's still out in the lobby. Does he know how to get out of here?
Yeah, he's coming back.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyhow, Frank, you said your Joyce called the family in.
Yeah,
I
she
mean,
called the family.
Was this because your liver, or did she have other plans?
That was with the, yeah. She's getting in my 401k real quick. Yeah.
You have to tell her I asked that.
You woke up, they were sitting there reading his will.
Woke up,
This is
said, "Whoa,
scary."
there's my sister, there's my niece, there's my friend from high school."
But they,
I thought,
they were actually there or
yeah, my
not?
two best friends from high school were there.
Okay, but didn't you have another thing though where?
Well, that was the sepsis. That's where I had sepsis, and they couldn't figure it out. And they evidently figured it out because I went back home. But it's hard to believe how much your body wears down too. In a hospital for a week, or 2 weeks, you don't use your muscles.
Right.
So I was weak coming out of there. So then 2 weeks later, I'm getting a liver transplant. So I was weak going in. You know.
Right.
And if you're unhealthy going in, the odds of you surviving are less because. You know, if you're at the end of your
Sure.
life and your liver's failing and you go in, they have to determine whether to give you that transplant or not. If you're a drinker, they're going to just let you die, I think.
Yeah.
If you're not, they
Because
let
you're
you.
abusing it.
Yeah. Now, you know, you could be a child and have liver disease. You know, a lot of babies
Right.
are born with a bad liver. There's one person I believe in the world that had a liver transplant as a baby and did not have to take immune suppressant drugs. He got it so young, his body got used to it, and he's free of that. I guess his DNA probably changed. I don't know what happened there.
yeah.
You don't have to take it. I do. I have to take it forever.
So you woke up one day and there's all these people around your bed, and you're like, what?
Yeah, I thought, well, you know, what's going on? And I don't remember all of it. I was in and out. I remember delusional thinking that they had me there.
Well, didn't you have a delusion or something that there was people around the bed?
No, I had delusion that the doctors in the hospital were using me for an experiment.
Oh.
And it wasn't all real. It wasn't happening. I still remember that.
Okay, because I thought you said something. Well, the other day you said something to me that you woke up and there was people around your bed, but no one was there. You know, you told me that they were, Because I tell you, that is an end of life thing. You know, there's a lot of people. There's a book you need to read this book.
Yeah, yeah.
It's called 90 Minutes in Heaven. This guy was in a bad car wreck, and somebody declared him dead. But then they went back to check on him when they're going to remove the car. He was breathing again. And in this book, it talks about, and there's a movie also. You can just go watch a movie, and he talks about he wakes up, and there's all these people that he's known has already passed away that are there, and they say that's the welcoming committee. You know, they say everybody has a welcoming committee of friends and family that have passed away before that are there to kind of help welcome you and guide you into the afterlife, into heaven. So then when you said that, I thought, man, that's some scary stuff.
Joyce and I was laying there smiling for a long time, like for hours, just a big smile on my face. And she said she wondered who I was talking to.
Well, and they also say, like, there's one side of the bed, like when somebody is getting ready to pass away, you're supposed to stay away from because that's where they come and get you. I think it's the right side. No, I mean, I'm serious.
Well, they turn you on your right side, I think, to make your heart work harder so you pass on. If you're near end of life, like if you're in,
well, that would make sense.
My mother, they did that. They turned her.
That would make sense.
And she passed faster.
My grandson died at 13 months old from liver failure. It's hard to get a liver for a baby. Then he got 2 weeks for a liver transplant.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's sad. That's sad. But I tell you, we're glad you're here.
Yeah,
we're glad you're going to go to Liverpool a lot more. We're glad, and that's funny, Liverpool. You know,
Liverpool's great.
No, I'm just saying Liverpool.
Oh, Liverpool.
You know,
I thought they were Ireland too.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up. Kind of messed up. But so, what's your prognosis now?
Prognosis now is a good chance of living a long life, and I'll probably die of something other than liver disease.
Good,
which is great.
Well, I didn't know, because some transplants, don't they kind of like put a time limit on them, like kidneys? Because I know, like Angie had kidney transplant, but she
Does it give you?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought she had a time limit on hers.
Having a transplant, does that create any problems for you when you travel? I mean, like you're going to.
It did originally. I wasn't allowed traveling anywhere.
Okay.
And the first month you're supposed to stay away from everybody, all people.
Okay.
And I got a friend of mine. Actually, I graduated with her about a month ago. She had a liver transplant, just out of just sheer luck or whatever, irony, whatever you want to call it. But I know she said over grandkids are around her, and I can't do that, because kids get sick probably more than adults do. So yeah, you have that, and I had to get okay to travel. So they finally said you can fly, you can go.
Okay.
And then after a year, they just open everything up for you. It doesn't matter. You just got to be careful. You can't swim in like a pond or something that isn't running water. It's got to be like I can swim in the ocean or pool, but not where there's a lot of bacteria.
Okay.
I can't fight it off.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you take any strong medicine for it, or?
I take two the rejection drugs.
Yeah.
And that's about it. I had one issue. The only issue I really came out was I had they tied me down. When they tied me down for the surgery, they strap you in. They strap you in so hard it damaged a nerve in my arm.
Oh my
gosh! When I came out
gosh.
of surgery, my hand was like that. I couldn't use it.
Oh, geez.
So I kept asking them what's going on, and they said it'll come back. It'll come back. Well, it all did, but my thumb. My thumb didn't come back.
Really?
I got to get it operated on probably late August, early September. So they're going to take something out of here, put it in here, and make that move again. So I ended up that, and I had my portal vein. And I described that blood goes from your heart to your portal vein, through the liver, and onto your body. My portal vein, I think from the guy that donated, he was a 59-year-old man. He was my age at the time.
That's crazy.
I don't know who he was. I sent a letter to his family, and I just didn't hear anything back. But he had a blocked partially blocked portal vein. So I did too, after surgery. So they had to go in there and put like a stent in there, like a heart, you would for a heart.
Yeah.
Heart.
Open
And
it up.
they did that, and that stopped it. And at that time, I had so much water. My feet were real huge. I couldn't wear
Yeah.
shoes. My stomach was bloated. And after that, 2 weeks later, I was fine. So
I
that
thought
was-
he was
that
going
was
to say
our-
the only problem I had, it just made me more handsome.
It's crazy.
Oh, but
Wow.
you're looking good.
Yeah, I feel bad.
And you're doing good. And remember, you're coming on today. This doesn't have to be a one-shot day. So if you like this, you're more than welcome to come back.
I'll come back.
Not only talk about the liver, but also just, where did you work at?
I came over here to work for Randall. And I always thought Randall got a bum deal in this town because when Airborne was leaving, or DHL, nobody talked about the 800 jobs at Randall that went. They were gone. And that was a lot of people.
Yeah.
Randall was there in the 1860s and made, I believe, buttons for the Civil War uniform.
They left the same time as DHL or a different time?
I think about the same time.
Okay.
Close to it. They didn't get any publicity. They just were like gone. And of course, DHL left to cause the big mess.
Right.
I did 10 years there.
Randall? Did you guys know each other?
Huh?
What years did you
Maybe.
work there?
I was there in 98, 99, and 2000. All right. Yeah.
You came there after I left because I was there from 77 to 87.
I was quality engineer. Quality engineer there.
Really?
Yeah.
I was quality supervisor.
Was it? Yeah. That's a small world. Left
Jerry
there.
could have been your boss.
Yeah, I went there. Went up the hill to Curse Cash. Worked there. I was quality manager there, and then I worked there until 2004. Then went back to Randall because I needed a quality engineer, and I was tired of Curse Cash. I got an argument with somebody there, and then went back there, and then didn't stay at Randall very long. So I went to Sabina and worked at
New Sabina?
New Sabina. Worked there for like a month.
Don't tell me you worked at Pennant.
I worked at Pennant.
Oh, good Lord.
Worked at Pennant and for 6 months, and I decided to become a realtor.
Oh, I didn't know you
last
were a
very long
realtor.
because the housing market bombed that same year.
So you're the reason.
Yeah, I'm the reason. I'm the reason. It's like washing your car, when it rains. That was my fault.
2008.
2008. Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly right. In 2009, I went to a place in Mason, Reliance Medical Products. We made ophthalmic chairs. So when you go to the optometrist and you sit in that chair and you look, that's probably my chair I made. And then the thing that comes down, you look through and they say, does this look good? Does that look good? We make that in Switzerland. So the odds are you probably had one of those or probably a competitor, maybe Zeiss or something. Is that me?
I think it is. That means it's 9 o'clock. Was that your
It
wake-up
is.
tone?
Oh, I got to take my medicine.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
and you need to call somebody. So we're going to take a break. Then when we come back, we're going to talk a little Beatles. We got a little Beatles trivia today, which I'm sure he's probably going to knock it out of the park. I don't care. We're going to do it anyhow because some of it I know none of us have heard of before. So
We'll see if I do.
Oh, you will. We'll be back.
Are
in a minute.
animals using your house as their
you
new
take your
home?
medicine,
Spring
you
is
get
around the
out.
corner, and so is birthing season for wildlife. Give us a call today if you are hearing noises in your attic or under your house. Here at Diamondback Wildlife Extraction, we can take care of your wildlife removal needs and repairs. Nuisance wildlife can be very destructive to your house, such as chewing on or through electrical wiring and much more. Call us today to book an appointment for inspection at 937-302-6372. We strike back.
Indulge in a variety of mouth-watering dishes, from juicy burgers and fresh salads to stacked sandwiches, delicious pizzas, warm soups, crispy fries, and finger-licking wings. Every bite is crafted with care using hand-grinded and breaded ingredients made right here in-house. Whether you're dining solo or with family or hanging out with friends, we have something to satisfy every craving. That's the Rusty Keg in Washington Courthouse, the best fries in town.
Who says living with labels is a bad thing? Especially bright, easy-to-read labels with a large font.
When one man's drinking fountain is another man's bidet.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
All the pretend news to fill your day.
Trust your most unreliable source.
The Murphy Report. Made up stories almost like these and real stories on what's coming to the Murphy.
Ohio's hometown theater in downtown Wilmington.
Every Monday morning on the Murphy Theater website and our YouTube channel.
You know, Amanda, I label just about everything in my house, even my clothes, even my shoes. One shoe I have labeled R, and the other shoe I have labeled NR.
NR?
Yeah, not right.
You're not right.
The Murphy Report. Remember, if it's news to you,
it's news to us. A major shakeup in the pharmaceutical industry as Flintstone Vitamins taken to task for tasting nothing like Fred or Wilma.
And as for Pebbles, well, she's already a fruity breakfast cereal. Why dietitians and nutritionists coast to coast are warning us to yabba dabba don't when it comes to ingesting these chalky childhood chewables.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Looking out for your health and well-being is just a sample of the kind of made-up news you can expect on The Murphy Report.
Earning the reputation as the mistrusted name in news isn't something that we take lightly.
In fact, most wouldn't take it at all.
And our efforts reflect that, with a trophy case in our lobby filled wall to wall with empty shelves.
Let the other outlets vie for trophies and your respect.
We're simply too busy making it up to care for such accolades, with a new report posted every Monday on the Murphy Theater website and YouTube channel.
The Murphy Report, with veteran news anchors Vanessa Del Rey and Breck Stone.
Remember, if it's news to you,
it's news to us. He's the Howard Sprague of his community, a leader of several groups, living with his parents and dating one of the most eligible professional women in town.
But he's in no hurry to settle down and put that ring on her finger. The wait is maddening.
If they both weren't so darn adorable. Could it be nerves?
Or just enjoying the bachelor life a wee bit too much.
America's Couple sits down for an in-depth interview to share how they keep their relationship so fresh while keeping such a safe distance from one another. On the Murphy Report.
I know I can't wait.
But evidently they both can. The Murphy Report, with veteran anchors Vanessa Del Rey and Breck Stone.
With the new report posted on our Murphy Theater website and YouTube channel every Monday morning.
The Murphy Report.
Remember.
There and met John and his cousin.
And we're getting ready to talk a little Beatles, which Frankie eats us up. He's ready to talk Beatles, I can tell you right now. We were talking about it all during the break. But before we get there, there was something you mentioned that happens when your liver's going bad. What's you said something about ammonia or
yeah,
what?
when your liver's going bad, it can't filter out toxins. And that's what happens to a lot of people. They can't filter out the toxin, and then your kidneys have to work, because if your liver's not filtering it out, your body says we're going to send it to the kidneys, and your kidneys end up failing because they can't handle the load. But within that, it can't filter the toxin. Ammonia is something that it filters out. So what happened to me, and a good majority of people, is the ammonia couldn't go through, but it has to go somewhere. You know, it can't get through the liver, so it goes back in the blood unfiltered.
Okay.
And so that goes through your brain, the rest of your body, and it debilitates you a good bit because you can't think properly. You can't drive. I got lost a couple times.
No kidding.
I was driving to my doctor, and I got lost. And I've been there many a times, and I was almost there. And my mind said, "This is the wrong place." And then I took off. I was gone for like an hour, and I finally figured it out and got back. And then I quit driving after that. Joyce would drive me everywhere.
Wow,
And
that's a little scary, isn't it?
Yeah, it was scary.
Did you think you had Alzheimer's or something at the time too, or?
No, I felt
because
like
that sounds like an Alzheimer's.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
There's a story. One guy I read that he said he had it's called HE, and when the ammonia doesn't filter, but he had it. He was driving down in Cincinnati on 275, and on the radio they were saying there's a crazy man driving the wrong way on 275. It was him. He was driving one way, you know, how's 275?
The wrong way?
He was going the other way, on the same way.
So I remember that.
He had to pull off, call his wife up, and somebody had to come get him. He was just lost it. So you got to be careful that ever happens.
Well, that's the first. I'm 60 years old, and that's the first time I've ever heard of anything like that. Jerry, it should be back in just a second. He had to go make an important phone call. Actually, he got one of those messages that said it would self-destruct in 5 seconds if he didn't make a phone call. So hopefully he got it done in time. Hey, we got birthdays. These are local birthdays today. And the first one you know.
No. My may know somebody. Let's see.
Brenda Vandermark.
I know Brenda.
Yeah, her
well.
birthday today. Taryn Tagg, it's her birthday. Rhonda Naramore, happy birthday, Rhonda. Brittany Curtis. Brookman Prather. Nick Greenlee, the big haunt master. He's a big old boy, big booty. He's scary without being in a haunt. That's how scary he can be. I say that with all the love in the world, Nick. Bootsy Longnet, his birthday today. Jamie Ferguson and Teresa Lawson. Okay, so that's local birthdays. Now we do celebrity birthdays, and all we do on this is we play a little high-low, try to figure out how old these celebrities are. See if we can get it within 3 or 4 guesses. Okay. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. And I even give hints, but it still doesn't happen. All right. The first one is Wayne Brady. How old do you guys think Wayne Brady is today? Younger than us, I'll give you that.
Black dude?
Yeah, Let's Make a Deal.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, he's from that show that used to do the skits.
Yeah.
I'd say
younger than 60.
54.
Ooh, that's just a little bit high. 53, yeah.
That was real close.
You guys did good there. Hey, Dennis Haysbert. He's an actor. Now, here's how you may know this guy. He was in The Unit. He was in Major League in 24. 24, I think he was the president. Major League, he is the one.
Oh, he's the
Joe
president.
Boo.
Yeah, he's on Allstate guy.
Yeah. And he's also Joe Boo. Remember Joe Boo in Major League?
Yeah.
He's the Sorrento, the guy that plays Sorrento. So how old is he today? And he's older, a lot older than Wayne Brady.
67.
67? Higher.
Leave that.
Higher than 67.
Go ahead.
71.
Ding, 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 ding,
Oh,
ding.
wow, that's pretty good.
Dennis Haysbert, 71. Dana Carvey, Saturday Night Live. You were speaking of him. Dana Carvey. What do you guys think?
He's in the 90s. He was probably 30 in the 90s. Or was that 70?
70 is right. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, good job. Okay, Justin Long. This guy is a side actor. He's been in Live Free or Die Hard, Galaxy Quest, Jeepers Creepers, brunette. Kind of has a straight face, he's just Justin Long.
40.
Higher than 40, but you're in the right decade.
46 and a half.
Just a little bit low.
47.
47, there you go.
I just lead you up to all the answers here.
Yeah, you just... All right, here's one you'll know. The Beav, Leave It to Beaver, Jerry Mathers.
Oh, my.
See, he was probably, 8 years old in 1958? Let's say 55. What did that make him?
Well, 55 would only put him at like 2013.
He's probably about 85.
Yeah, 78.
78 is just a little bit high.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh, that's darn
You
close.
need to come on here more. You get closer than anyone.
He's like serving them up to me.
The wrestler, Lex Luger. The wrestler. The wrestler.
Lex Luger?
Lex Luger.
What decade he
I think 80s. 80s, 90s.
probably 28, 30. He's 58 years old.
Higher than 58.
62.
Higher than 62.
Wow.
70.
Less.
66.
Just a little bit low.
There you go.
7.
67. Stacy Keach, the actor, Mike Hammer. You remember Mike Hammer? Prison Break. He was the warden.
You mean like it's hammer time?
Yeah. Stacy Keach.
67.
67. Oh no, he's older than that.
74.
Older.
86.
Lower.
80.
Bracketed 80 and 86.
82.
Just a little, well, it's higher, not just a little higher.
80.
84,
Yeah.
there you go. 84. All right, that does it for celebrity birthdays today. Now, all right, so we're going to do something a little different for the game today. I want you guys to see if you can tell me the top 5 Beatles albums. All right, by sales. Huh? Abbey Road is number 2.
Number 1 would be Sgt. Pepper.
Sgt. Pepper is number 1.
Number 3 is Revolver.
No.
I know.
It's a tie for number 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Revolver's my favorite.
Yeah, Revolver is tied for number 5 with another one. Sgt. Pepper's, Abbey Road, and you still need 3, 4, and another 5.
And the White Album, is it in there?
The White Album is number 3.
It's not the best album, but Let It Be is in there. So.
No. There's one that might throw you because it's.
Well, there's one, the album one.
Yeah, that's it. There you go. One, the compilation, the greatest hits. It's number 4. You still got one more to go with Revolver tied for number 5. What's this one?
Where was Let It Be?
It wasn't in the top 5.
In America, it could be Meet the Beatles. See, Revolver, Rubber Soul.
Ah,
Rubber Soul?
Rubber Soul. There you go. Rubber Soul. All right, now I got some crazy things that you may or may not know. All right. First of all, what album was it's its birthday today? What album was recorded on this date? And I'm looking for the time. I thought I wrote it down, but I think it was 1968.
Recorded in 68?
Yeah. In 67. I'm sorry, in 67.
Released or recorded?
U.S. release 1967 on
It was
this date.
in May of 1967.
It's according to this, is on this date.
Okay.
What is it?
It's Sgt. Pepper was.
Yeah, Sgt. Pepper. Look at that. Yeah, Sgt. Pepper. Yeah, very good. All right. Now,
Summer Love.
Here we go.
I don't remember Summer Love. Do you remember Summer Love?
No. What was the last time, the last day and year, that the Beatles all were in the same studio together?
All 4 Beatles?
Yeah.
That's 69.
Yeah, what day?
What day? When
I got the information out. I mean, it's the guys
about
that Beatles.
January.
Oh, no.
They went after January?
It was.
I'm thinking Let It Be. I'm sorry. Abbey Road was the last album. We got to go.
On down the year.
Maybe November?
Not quite that far.
Really? But let's let the audience tell us.
Oh, they won't know. They'll
They'll never know.
Rick Morton's on the White Album. Bill Lehrman says you're subbing for him Friday, just in case you didn't know that. August 20th was the last time they were in the studio together. Good Morning Inspiration. Oh, what was a Good Morning Inspiration for
Good
John
Morning.
Lennon?
It was Cornflakes. box.
Yeah,
It was colored
cornflakes. Yeah, it was cornflakes.
John hated that song too. He wrote it.
But he wrote it.
He wrote it. He never liked it.
Why would you write it?
He may have liked it one day and he was mad the next day. He was either or. No matter what time you caught him.
All right. Well, that's okay. Now, we got a couple of real weird ones here. What did Ringo really want to do?
Oh, let me think.
No? What did Ringo really think he was going to do?
I used to know
Closer than a fireman.
Actor?
Actor.
I don't know.
He wanted to be an actor. He was an actor in
I don't think.
Caveman and,
Yeah, he was. Yeah, Barbara Bach. Remember?
He married Barbara Bach.
Ooh, doggies.
Short black hair.
No, blonde, big, busty blonde. Yeah.
Yeah, he married her. And
Barbara
they've
Bach.
been married for since the 80s.
They still married?
Yeah, still married.
Really? Yeah, she's a big model actress. I don't think we've had anybody on here that does this profession, but we've had somebody that works in a shop that does this profession.
Hairdresser.
Hairdresser,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right. I forgot about
hairstylist. Ringo wanted to be a hairstylist. All right, Frankie, what can you tell me about the thing?
The thing.
The thing.
What you mean about the thing?
The Beatles were in, I think, Liverpool, staying at a hotel, and something that George Harrison did.
Gosh.
Thing
You talking back in the 60s in Hamburg, or?
I'm not sure. It was at a hotel.
I know one time he puked and they let it sit there for
That's
for
the
a long
thing.
time. They named it.
That's
something.
the name. The thing.
I can't. No, the thing.
The thing is the name of it. That's right. And yeah, they let it sit there for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then when somebody finally from the hotel come and cleaned it up, they gave it a proper burial. They had a little funeral.
It was in Hamburg. There's a Hamburg's crazy anyway because the Reaper bombs there. It's like the party place of the world. It's no laws, and you go down from that place, and the Beatles played there for twice. The 60, I think 63, something like that, 62, or whatever it was. But there was a movie theater, and they lived above the movie theater, and they played for like 12 hours a day, 13 hours a day.
Yeah.
And they go there, and that's where it happened, right there in that movie theater.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
They let it sit. I can't. That's gross. Anyhow, Strawberry Fields. What was the inspiration for that song?
Oh, I was there just a couple weeks ago. There's a playground above where John lived, and John lives on Menlove Avenue. So Menlove runs down, Beaconsfield runs up, and just behind his house, he went up there, and there was it was
orphanage or something like that.
Huh?
Was it an orphanage?
It was an orphanage.
Yeah.
And, they redid all that, and it was let's say 5 years ago I was there, and it was just a big field. It was grown up. They redid that, put a building there for John. It's all Strawberry Fields honor for him, and it's really nice.
That was the inspiration. There was this field back there behind the orphanage that he passed by a lot from where he lived.
Yeah, I had to walk by it.
And it was called Strawberry Fields. Doing good. These are pretty good questions, though, aren't they, for
a
you?
couple weeks ago.
Did you like these questions for you?
Yeah, they're easy.
I figured you'd nail them.
May life be that easy. Yeah.
Huh?
May life be that easy the rest of the way.
Oh,
May camping
man.
be that easy.
Most people are going to be like, how in the hell does he know all this stuff? The next one, I got one more. Please Please Me. That was an album, right?
Yeah.
Please Please Me. Let me see.
Was it an album or just a song?
They're different. I believe it wasn't an album.
It wasn't or was?
I believe so. You had you got it down there as an album? You had Meet the Beatles, and in America the releases are different than England.
I don't have it down as an album or a single, but I have how long it took to record it. How long did it take to record? That's why I thought it might be an album.
Well,
I think it might be an album.
You only had 4 tracks, so they went probably one day and had it out there. They can do an album in a day. It was expensive to record back then.
How many hours?
12 hours?
That's right. 12 hours. That's what it took. I guess by the end of the day, their voices were all shot. 12 hours of singing straight. I mean,
what's amazing is they didn't redouble a lot of those. It was like a live album. They just kept going.
Well, and I heard something today that was interesting on the radio coming over here. What's the song? Do they have a song called Believe or something like that? Because. Okay, so how many singers are on Because?
I know the 4 sing because it's a big harmony song.
Yeah, but how many? They sang a song Because, and well, three of them sang it. It was Lennon, McCartney, and Harrison. But how many voices were used for each one of them?
Oh, they overlapped several times, probably 8 times.
3 for each one.
3 for each one.
So there's 9. It's 9 people singing because they kept overdubbing it. And then I heard another one today. This guy wanted to. It's funny. They called in. They're giving away bowling for soup tickets, and this guy, he was on the Beatles channel on Sirius this morning, and they asked him, all right, who originally did 1985? The song
I
1985.
don't know. I know the song though. I know the Bowling for Soup version.
Paul McCartney and Wings did
that's
a
not
19.
the same version though.
No, but they did a song
Yeah,
called,
he
because
did.
the guy told him, he said, no, you're wrong, it's Bowling for Soup. And the guy said, you need to go check your Paul McCartney with Wings album.
On Band on the Run album.
Yeah, man, and he come back, and the guy says, well, you're right, do you want the tickets? Hell no, I don't want the tickets, but he just wanted to prove him wrong.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny, really, if you think about it. Yeah, so I listened to both of them. Yeah, they're not even near the same song.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
They're way far apart.
Yeah, but I thought that was an interesting
Yeah.
trivia deal. All right, well, listen, it's time to take another break, and we'll be back again in just a minute. Then why don't you tell us about your trip
Okay, yeah.
a little bit?
Are animals using your house as their new home? Spring is around the corner, and so is birthing season for wildlife. Give us a call today if you are hearing noises in your attic or under your house. Here at Diamondback Wildlife Extraction, we can take care of your wildlife removal needs and repairs. Nuisance wildlife can be very destructive to your house, such as chewing on or through electrical wiring and much more. Call us today to book an appointment for inspection at 937-302-6372. We strike back.
Indulge in a variety of mouth-watering dishes, from juicy burgers and fresh salads to stacked sandwiches, delicious pizzas, warm soups, crispy fries, and finger-licking wings. Every bite is crafted with care using hand-grinded and breaded ingredients made right here in-house. Whether you're dining solo or with family or hanging out with friends, we have something to satisfy every craving. That's the Rusty Keg in Washington Courthouse, the best fries in town.
Roller Haven is located at 1640 U.S. Highway 22 Northwest, Washington Courthouse, Ohio. The perfect place for a day out with the family, birthday parties, and even an organization event or fundraiser. Check out our website, rollerhavenwch.com. Or give us a call at 740-335-6481 and we can help plan your event. We look forward to seeing you there.
Local religious leaders pondering taking Sundays off.
Holy Toledo, Batman. Are religious holidays next on the chopping block?
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Investigative reporting. It's what we do, sometimes on the Murphy Report.
Nothing is off limits in our newsroom, except baby turtles.
The Murphy Report. A new report every Monday on the Murphy Theater website and our own YouTube channel.
Amanda, did you know that I once felt I had a calling and gave serious consideration to joining the priesthood?
Oh, I can see that. You seem sincere, spiritual sort of person, not wrapped up in the petty trappings of society, littered with ego and vanity. What made you decide not to do it?
I don't look good in black.
Amen to that. The Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
it's news to us. Nursery rhyme historians uncover the truth about Jack and Jill.
There was no hill to climb, and new clues cast doubt on there ever being a pail. What could be next? The tortoise and the hare living together?
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett. The nursery rhymes may be made up, but the only thing made up here is the news.
That's right, Steve. On the Murphy Report. With a new report every week beginning Monday morning on the Murphy Theater website and our YouTube channel.
Hard-hitting, cutting edge, and a third less fulfilling.
With veteran news anchors Vanessa Del Rey and Breck Stone.
A combined 415 years in the news business.
It's made up news you can count on to get you through your day.
And put you to sleep at night, just like me with my warm milk and cookies. And a plethora of heart-related medications.
Plus all the real news on what's coming to the Murphy Theater.
Ohio's hometown theater in downtown Wilmington.
That's on the Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
it's news to us.
All right, we are back, and I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to get to Frankie's trip here in just a second, but I want to get Jerry's This Day in History in before I forget. So let's do a little This Day in History, Jerry.
This day in history. June 2nd, in 1774, the Quartering Act which required American colonists to allow British soldiers into their houses, was reenacted. In 1835, P.T. Barnum launched his first traveling show. The main attraction was Joyce Heth. Heth was reportedly to be the 161-year-old nurse of George Washington. Yeah. In 1851, Maine became the first state to enact a law prohibiting alcohol. In 1886, Grover Cleveland became the second U.S. president to get married while in office. He was the first to have a wedding in the White House. In 1897, Mark Twain, at age 61, was quoted by the New York Journal as saying, "The report of my death was an exaggeration." He responded to the rumors that he had died. This one tore me up. In 1924, it's easy for me to say, all American Indians were granted U.S. citizenship by the U.S. Congress. Excuse me?
I know, they were here first, right?
Yeah.
I know. I saw that also.
In 1933, U.S. President Franklin Roosevelt accepted the first swimming pool to be built in the White House. In 1935, George Herman, that's... Huh?
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth. Yeah.
Bicycle man.
Announced he was retiring from baseball.
1935.
Yep, 1935. In 1998, the Royal Caribbean Cruise agreed to pay $9 million to settle charges of dumping waste at sea.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And in 1998, voters in California passed Proposition 227. The act abolished the state's 30-year-old bilingual education program by requiring that all children be taught in English, which they always be taught in English anyway. That was in 1998. There you go.
The only one I can add to that, I think, is Elizabeth II's coronation was on this day in 1953.
Yeah, I saw that.
Today's word of the day is veritable, meaning being truly or very much so. Frankie is definitely a veritable Beatles fan. He's a true Beatles fan. All right, just let you know real quick. Like I said, we have Dustin on tomorrow, JJ and the Fayette County Connection on Thursday. Who knows what Uncle Punky will be dressed as? And then Friday, we got no Bill. We got Bill today. We got our dose of Bill for the week. And then Travis is going to be here, and Harley. And by the way, if anybody wants to donate to Harley's basketball camp, we're taking donations here Monday through Friday, 8 to 10. So, love Travis O'Connor, Harley O'Connor. If you're interested in donating to Harley's basketball camp, just drop in anytime, any amount, $1, $2, $5, $100, whatever you want to do. Just to let you know what's going on. I tell you, this weekend we had two great car shows. We had one in Chillicothe. We had about 40 cars on Saturday. Yesterday, though, at the Ace Car Show, we had 168 cars.
Wow.
It was just phenomenal. This weekend, coming up, Rod's Project is on Saturday at the park, out across from Wendy's, J.W. Denver Williams Park. And Cedar Creek Car Show's on Sunday. Clinton Becker's going to have a throw-up. That doesn't sound good, but a food festival, just a quick little food truck rally on Thursday night. But we'll be down in Sabina, which, Jerry, you liked the food, didn't you? Down there at Fresh Pizza and Cream.
Oh, yeah.
Then Tuesday, we'll be out at Chubby's Pizza. Finally get to do a Chubby's Pizza again. My God, the weather's been terrible. All right, Frankie. So what do you, on your last trip, well, you had 2 trips. You went to London, Liverpool, and then Louisville. You have something about
Just
going to
finished
L's.
Louisville, yeah.
Well, tell us about them.
I can take you through how to get there and what happens when you get there and where you go.
You went British Airways. How long was the flight?
Flight's about, if you fly, generally, if it's direct flight, maybe 10 hours.
Where'd you fly out of?
I used to fly out of Cincinnati.
So you didn't have to go to New York first and then lay over?
A while back when we first started going, it was so expensive that we drove to Chicago. It was just cheaper to fly
Isn't
to
that
Chicago.
dumb?
So that gets so tiring, it's not worth it. The older I got, it got tougher.
Yeah.
So CVG is where we usually fly out of, and generally land at Heathrow. So Heathrow's a big airport.
Yeah, I've never been overseas like that. The only other countries I've been to was
Kentucky.
no, no,
Canada. You've been to Blantyre.
Canada and Mexico and the Cayman Islands. Well, I tell you, yeah, Canada. Yeah, I've been there. So,
You've been all
do you know
over
it's
the world.
do you know it's a country? We had a guy on there one day said, you know, Canada's almost like another country.
Yeah, it is.
Uncle Punky, you gotta love him. So you went there. So what did you go to London for? What was the?
I went to the trip was for a birthday party for a friend. She turned 60. So
Okay.
there's probably 30 of us that we all knew each other, and we went to see her. I landed in London, and I have 4 or 5 friends in London who are in a band. So I went to see them. So one of the band members come by Heathrow and picked me up, drove me to the gig. So I got to watch them at their gig, and then the next day I took the train, went to Liverpool. That's what happened there.
What was the name of their band?
The Large Portion, because at the time they formed, some of the guys were pretty big.
The large portion.
Yeah.
So do they play mostly Beatle covers, or they play everything?
They'll do covers like you did in the band.
Right.
You know, there'll be Beatles songs, but they'll be mostly 60s, 70s songs.
Okay. Were they good?
They're real good. They're real good. They played at the Beatle Festival they're called Wings Band there.
Yeah.
But they did a whole Paul McCartney set. It was really great. It was good time.
So what's your, and this is going to be hard, what's your favorite Beatles song?
Something. Something's my favorite Beatles.
Well, George Harrison,
Yeah,
huh?
George
Yeah, I
Harrison.
like that. Yeah, I
That's
like
why you
that.
guys played it in the band. You didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's why
no, I
you played
like that song. What was your favorite Paul McCartney and Wings song?
it. Maybe I'm Amazed.
Oh,
That's actually a
good
McCartney song. Wings didn't start until after that. So you had McCartney, then you had Ram, him and his wife Linda,
Yeah.
and then Wings started, and eventually they came up. Band on the Run came out, and then they were
Didn't they do a song called With a Little Luck?
With the Little Luck came out in '77.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Yeah, it's on London Town.
And that's just him and his wife, isn't it?
No, that's him. Denny Lane was there, and they.
So that was Wings?
It was Wings, still Wings.
Okay.
Wings' last album was Back to the Egg. He reinvented the wings, the bird, the egg.
Oh, Back to the Egg. Okay.
Then they broke up when he had that marijuana bust in Japan in '80, and he had a whole guitar case full of pot.
Oh my
He got
gosh.
busted. He was in jail 10 days.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty cool.
You think that's pretty cool?
He survived it. I guess he was in there playing yesterday as a prisoner.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah, he was pretty. He backed off. Then John died, and
right.
he was just done.
Now I've seen 2 Beatles live. I've seen Ringo and his band play, and I've seen Paul McCartney.
Yeah, it's a good show. Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I saw him years ago, like probably around 1988, 89.
Wow, did a good show. They had a good band then.
He was down Riverfront.
Yeah, I was in line for tickets for 45 minutes in the rain, and I didn't get a ticket. They were sold out in 10 minutes.
For that show?
Yeah.
Well, this is funny. I went and I was teaching, this is how much times have changed. I was teaching school, and one of my kids wanted to go to it. And his parents didn't want any part of it. I said, well, if you get tickets, I'll take you. Because, back then it was more laid back. You couldn't do that today. Everybody being an
What was your
uproar.
ticket price?
It wasn't much. It was like $15, $20. Yeah, it wasn't much.
That's good.
And but he bought the tickets. We had decent seats. It was funny because I remember when we come out afterward, WLW was interviewing people, and they interviewed me, just said, oh, great concert, whatever. And my old band director heard me. He was listening to WLW. He goes, that's Hargrave. I know it, yeah. So that was pretty neat. So when you went to London, what else did you do here in Liverpool and London? You heard the band, you went to a birthday party, but didn't you just say you met somebody?
In London, this trip,
Yeah.
it was just to see that band overnight, and then I had to be in Liverpool the next day.
Yeah.
So you take the train, you go down to, it's called Euston
How far
Station.
is London from Liverpool? I don't even know.
Liverpool's about a 3-hour train ride.
Is it really? Okay.
It takes you clear across the country. That's how big their country is, 3 hours. 3-hour train ride.
So in Liverpool, what'd you do?
Liverpool, I got there, and when I got there, I just walked around, looked at things, and mainly it was to see my friend. It was just group stuff. We went out on the Mersey and took the boat out there. There's the Mersey. There's an old song called Ferry Across the Mersey or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, you take it on a boat, and they play that song. And
So
mostly it was
Mersey
just-
is a river?
I don't know if it's a river or an inlet.
Okay.
Definitely there's ports there.
Okay.
They just take you around. When I was there, though, I went to Strawberry Fields. I took the local 76 bus up to Menlove and Beaconsfield when I had walked up and walked over to John's house. I've been in John's house. You have to go through the National Trust, which is, like for us, we'd make something protected
Yeah.
through the government. Well, they have the National Trust. And all 4 Beatles childhood homes are protected by the National Trust. So you got to go through them to get in there. And the friend of mine at the birthday party did that one year and surprised us.
Oh, wow.
So we got there and got to go through John's house and very emotional. You got to go up to his room. They got it all set like it used to be. And
Like when he was a kid?
yeah,
or-
when he was a kid.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty cool.
What about, have you been through the others or
I've
not?
been through McCartney's house. And
Yeah.
we went through that, and we got downstairs. There's this piano, and Joyce got on it and played. I saw her standing there on the.
Really?
Yeah, she was good at that.
Wow.
And then George's house, I've been by it, not in it. And Ringo's lives in a very poor part of town. They got his outside of his house painted. It's protected though.
Yeah.
Ringo was a poor kid. He was a sick kid. He had some type of, I don't know what it was. I have to look it back up, but he was very sick, very sick.
Now, where they played their first job at was the...
They played at the Cosbach Club. It's a coffee house.
Yeah.
And I've yet to go there. Maybe I'll go
Yeah,
this
that's what I was going to ask, if you'd
year.
been
Never
there.
been to Casbah. I've been to the Cavern many times.
But well, that was one of the earlier ones.
That was
wasn't
zero. They played the Cavern about every night, and then Brian Epstein, their manager, that's where he saw them.
it? Cavern, so...
Actually-
How big is it?
It's, I don't know, how big is this? Maybe 2 of these rooms, 3 of these rooms.
2 or 3 of these rooms that we're in right now.
They actually tore it down. The Cavern was torn down. The subway system wanted to do something.
Yeah.
And then they decided that they better keep it. So they kept all the bricks, rebuilt it exactly the same as it was before,
Really?
like 2 buildings down. So you're not really going into the old cavern.
The
but it's
original,
same
but it's close
experience.
enough, yeah.
Same experience.
That's pretty neat, yeah. And then, but the Casbah was the first one.
Yeah, Casbah's the first one. I think Stu Sutcliffe was the original band member. He was John's friend, and his mother had a coffee house. So he let them play there.
Okay.
And, yeah.
And that's when Pete Best was probably playing
Pete
with.
Best was, played with them right until they went to America.
So what was the deal there? What happened to Pete Best? Did he just get fired
wasn't-
or he quit?
His drumming wasn't as good as the others. I don't think George Martin liked his drumming. And they met Ringo, and they really liked Ringo. So they kept Ringo.
Ringo had the look too, maybe? Or
Yeah, well, Ringo was with Rory Storm and the Hurricanes. I think that was the name of the group.
Yeah.
But they played in Hamburg when the Beatles played in Hamburg. So they knew
Okay.
each other. And then they decided to put Ringo in, and Pete Best is probably the unluckiest person ever in the world. You know, I met Pete Best. He's been
Have
to
you
Beatle
really?
festivals, and I met, got my picture, and I met Denny Lane with the Wings. I met them, and I met the original drummer for Wings.
Now, who was that?
You asked me too quick.
I'm trying. I can't.
Denny Sewell.
Okay.
He was the original drummer. Big guy, real tall.
Okay.
I met him a couple times.
Now, so how long were you over there this time?
The last time was 1 week. I came over on Friday, left on a Friday. We're going back in, I leave July 4th. I'm a trader. I'm leaving on July 4th.
Yeah, what the heck? Go
Britain.
back to Britain.
And,
What the heck?
We go over there for 2 weeks. That's where. The other one was just a test to see if I could travel.
So you going around to different places? And
Yeah, this time we're going to go to Morecambe, which is on the about 2-hour drive north of Liverpool. And I got friends there. He's an old band member. Used to come to Abbey Road, him and his wife.
Okay.
So we're friends with them, and we go in and go and visit them. It's a
That's
nice
cool.
area, real nice.
Now, when you went to Louisville, how many Beatles bands were there? Tribute bands?
Probably 50.
50?
There's somebody playing all the time. There's several stages that last 5 days. They usually have a big group. They didn't this year, but normally they'd have like ELO, not the
like a cover band.
ELO, but they're not a cover band. It's ELO. All the rest of the members.
All the
have
rest of the
touring
members.
bands.
Okay.
Like they were there. We had Beach Boys were there one year. Hermit's guy. I can never remember his name.
Okay.
They were there. Jefferson Airplane was there. I got to meet
Grace?
Paul Canner. Grace said she would never play again. She said, you have to quit at some point.
Yeah, Grace.
She said, I quit.
She looks pretty rough last
Yeah,
time I seen her. Yeah.
Well, she's probably 80 years old.
Yeah, she looked pretty rough. Although, hey, that doesn't mean anything. I tell you, at Saturday's car show, we're there, and there's a guy there, and it's like, I don't know, it's 2000 Corvette, nice Corvette, convertible, 91 years old.
Wow.
And I tell you what, he'd fit right in here with us. You'd think he's maybe mid-70s, if that.
Trying to pick up girls in his Corvette.
Oh, he's got a nice
get
wife. Bill Kitts. Bill Kitts is his name. He used to live in Sabina. And his daughter and I went to school together. She's a good musician, Joni Kitts. And yeah, Bill Kitts was he's a great guy, but it's pretty wild seeing him, out driving still. So Louisville, what was your highlight there?
Well, I camped there, which was amazing, which was kind of original.
Yeah, at the festival or at a different place?
No, it was a mile from the festival. Normally, the youth festival used to be in a place called the Gold House. It's a really nice hotel in Louisville.
Yeah.
And you'd come out of the bottom of the hotel, and they had it all fenced in the courtyard.
Yeah.
It was huge yard. And if you left the festival, you just left it to the hotel. And you could back out of the hotel. It was great.
That's nice.
Then they moved it to Jeffersonville, which is across the river from Louisville.
Indiana.
Yeah, just across the river.
Yeah.
So I was able to camp there. There's a hotel next to it. I think it was like $250 a night. I thought 5 nights I'm not going to do.
No.
Maybe when you give me some extra money for coming up here, I'll
I'll hear you. Yeah, I'll give you as much as I get.
It's a very nice festival. If you're a Beatles fan or somebody wants to really experience
What's the name of it?
Abbey Road on the River.
And that's every year?
Every year Memorial Day weekend. It starts on a Thursday and ends on a Monday.
Interesting.
It's a good time, real good time.
Louisville's a fun town.
Yeah, Louisville's a great town.
There's a lot of stuff to do in Louisville. You got the Louisville Slugger Museum. You got the other, like, it's not a museum, but the other place you can go where all the haunted stuff is with the big bat on the side. Muhammad Ali Museum.
The Ali Center, that's nice.
Yeah.
Real nice.
You can go out and see where Colonel Sanders is buried.
Yeah, Harlan Sanders there.
Yeah.
You got Louisville Slugger Museum.
Yeah, well, and there's I tell you, now if you're into the macabre type of stuff, there's a cemetery there that's been shut down. I can't think of the name of it right offhand, but it's a little gruesome.
Shut down?
Yeah, it's
not taking any more guests.
Volunteers take care
probably
of
want
the
it to be bad.
cemetery. It's bad because they got the reputation. They would bury people 5 deep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, have that one headstone out there, but and when you went,
They have all the names on the headstone?
no.
You know, in Liverpool, where I went and saw where McCartney met Lennon was a church. And you go in there, there's one headstone that says John Rigby, Eleanor Rigby, and they're all buried on top of each other. And it's just one tombstone. That's where Paul said he subconsciously, in his subconscious, he wrote
Eleanor Rigby. Yeah, interesting.
It's there.
But and this place is bad because, like, when you're driving in the cemetery, they have the blacktop walks. Well, you go.
walking over.
They're not speed bumps. There's bodies buried. There's bodies buried under the blacktop.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. It's and they have this big. It almost looks like a huge, like carport thing, but it's a lot more sturdier. And that's when they had the plague. That's where they would take their relatives, friends, people from the hospital would take the people that are getting ready to die from the plague. This place is morbid. I'll have to look it up. We can look it up. Closedale Cemetery in Louisville. People still take care of it today. Obviously, a lot of haunt people go there. There's also the sanitarium or sanatorium, whatever there.
Just take your hearse.
Oh, they love it down there. Yeah, there's a Blues Brothers band that plays all around Louisville too. That's pretty cool. All right, well, we're past time for break. We'll take one more break, then we'll finish up today. Today's went quick. We'll be back in just a
Are
minute.
animals using your house as their new home? Spring is around the corner, and so is birthing season for wildlife. Give us a call today if you are hearing noises in your attic or under your house. Here at Diamondback Wildlife Extraction, we can take care of your wildlife removal needs and repairs. Nuisance wildlife can be very destructive to your house, such as chewing on or through electrical wiring and much more. Call us today to book an appointment for inspection at 937-302-6372. We strike.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the game is actually over before you storm the court. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Roller Haven is located at 1640 U.S. Highway 22 Northwest, Washington Courthouse, Ohio. The perfect place for a day out with the family, birthday parties, and even an organization, event, or fundraiser. Check out our website, rollerhavenwch.com. Or give us a call at 740-335-6481 and we can help plan your event. We look forward to seeing you there.
A major shakeup in the pharmaceutical industry as Flintstone Vitamins taken to task for tasting nothing like Fred or Wilma.
And as for Pebbles, well, she's already a fruity breakfast cereal. Why dietitians and nutritionists coast to coast are warning us to yabba dabba don't when it comes to ingesting these chalky childhood chewables.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Looking out for your health and well-being is just a sample of the kind of made-up news you can expect on The Murphy Report.
Earning the reputation as the mistrusted name in news isn't something that we take lightly.
In fact, most wouldn't take it at all.
And our efforts reflect that, with a trophy case in our lobby filled wall to wall with empty shelves.
Let the other outlets vie for trophies and your respect.
We're simply too busy making it up to care for such accolades, with a new report posted every Monday on the Murphy Theater website and YouTube channel.
The Murphy Report, with veteran news anchors Vanessa Del Rey and Breck Stone.
Remember, if it's news to you,
it's news to us.
Let's get personal. Personal.
In Japan,
Let's get personal. Personal. You're supposed to sing with us when we do that.
let's get
Personal. Personal. There you go. Oh, harmony.
personal.
There we go. Sunday nights. Sunday nights, 5 to 8. Come and listen to how screwed up young people are on their relationships with Dr. Jeffrey Schusler, Dr. Sarah Fife, and Dr. Mary Ann Green. There we go. We'll just give them all doctors today. The most, Dotson. The most prominent example of a condemned cemetery is an Eastern cemetery that has a documented history of severe mismanagement, including overburials. Bodies were buried on top of other bodies, and grave sites were resold and reused, sometimes with human remains being found in inappropriate places. This practice was exposed in 1989, leading to criminal charges. Its disrepair and abandonment. After the scandal, the cemetery was largely abandoned, falling into severe disrepair with overgrown vegetation, crumbling monuments. Volunteer efforts, despite its problematic past, a volunteer group called Friends of Eastern Cemetery has been working since 2013 to clean up and restore the cemetery. Yeah, it's kind of macabre, like I said, if you go there. It's, yeah, so if you're down there next time, you might want to check that out.
Good luck.
Eastern Cemetery. And it's like I said, it's weird because you're driving down the road and there's not speed bumps, but humps in the middle of the road. Yeah. Yeah, check it. And there should be some pictures there where they had, there's crematorium, I think, on the grounds. And there was also like I said, a place where they took people when they had the plague.
Crematorium, they wouldn't have had to have buried bodies on the road.
Yeah, I think there's a crematorium on the ground. I'm
There's
just looking at
speed
pictures.
bump in the cemetery.
Yeah, there's speed bumps of dead bodies under the road. Nasty, nasty. But we're talking about Louisville, and Frankie just went to a festival there. So who was one of the better bands that you saw down there? Or there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, they're all pretty good. There's the old Wings guitarist, Lawrence Juber. He was at Wings at the end, so he played with the Little Luck album, but he was with the Back to the Egg time. He's there. He's probably the best guitarist I've ever heard.
Really?
Yeah, he's just amazing, especially on acoustics. He sounds like he's like 5 people are playing. He'll be hitting strings and go somewhere else. But it's great. It's really great.
So what's his name?
Lawrence Juber.
Juber.
Jubar.
Jupar. Juper.
Really, really good. His acoustic stuff's excellent. He'll be there next year with a band, I guess.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was probably. Well, the other ones. I have a friend named Chris. He's in the house band at the Cavern, and he was there. He was in a band called the V8s with another guy named Gareth. He was in the group Wings band. They were playing. They were pretty good. They'll be there next year too.
Yeah, like I said, Louisville. We've been down there several times. We used to get invited, and they just quit having the haunt. But we used to get invited. We'd take our hearse down. We'd DJ a car show at the 7th Street Haunt. Oh my God!
Walk and they have everything lit up Halloween.
Yeah.
I could do that.
I tell you, we had a good time. I mean, we went down there 3 or 4 years in a row and stayed overnight. They put us up. It was a neat deal. It was a very neat deal. There's just a lot to do in Louisville. I mean, it's just, and I don't know. I think it's rather safe to get around in, isn't it?
The Highlands is where everybody goes to.
You don't think it is?
Louisville?
Louisville?
I don't think it is. I don't know how many people are there. It's about like Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think it's probably, there's probably areas, you got to stay out of. But, well, the fairground. Well, I wasn't near the fairground.
Down in there.
We were more, this place was literally LawrenceJuber.com. There's Joyce watching. How you doing, Joyce? You could have came with him.
Just have Joyce come up here.
Yeah, Joyce, you're more than welcome to come up here.
She can teach.
Yeah, well, we can talk music here a little bit and teaching since she's retiring, right?
Yeah, she's retiring.
Well, good
That's
for
the
you.
plan anyway.
Does she right now? She's retiring right now, or she's gonna get one more year?
One more year.
Joyce, just retire. Get it over with. I mean, they lowered it where you didn't have to go as many years now. She's got over 35 years in, doesn't she?
How many years you got, Joyce?
Just retire. Join the life of luxury.
Probably 92 or 93. That's a long time. 30.
92, 2002, 2012, 2022. There's 30 years. So 30. She's probably got 33 years, and she could probably retire.
Yeah, she can. She's ready. She said she'd like to teach another 30 or 40 years. But
oh, yeah, right. Yeah, don't give me that. Don't give me. Ready to go camping with Frankie. So, how you like your camper so far? Since you're a new camper,
we've been everywhere. And when I started camping last week, Joyce joined me on Friday. I went on a Wednesday, and it rained every single day. I mean, every day for hours.
So you just sat in and watched TV?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all we did when we went Friday. It just rained all freaking day.
We got these real nice e-bikes to ride when we're camping, and we couldn't even ride them. We were stuck. We rode them one day, and we got stuck in a rainstorm. Had to spend it at Long John Silver's in Mammoth Cave. It's great though. just freedom to go where you want to go, really.
Yeah,
Just finished 31 years.
31. Okay. Well, you got to go another year or two then, don't you? At least one more, I think. They just
31.
lowered it. It was 35, then it was 34. I think they just lowered it to 33. So she may have to get 2 more.
No, they changed the law.
I know, that's what I just said.
Oh, but she said she was eligible this next year after 1 more year.
Okay, so they must have changed it down to 32.
Yeah.
then.
Something happened a couple months ago. or something.
Yeah, they just did that. When I retired, or when I was supposed to retire, it was supposed to be 30 years. But they made me go, because I was caught in that mix when they were switching over. They made me go 1 more year to get what I would have got at 30. So I went 31, then I went back to sub for a year and a half. Then I took another job at a school for 3 years. And I'm done. I'm not going to do any more teaching. Probably no more subbing, although I didn't mind the subbing. Didn't mind it.
I got a letter the other day from PERS,
Yeah.
and I got money in PERS I didn't even know I had.
Really?
Yeah. You were talking about, you were
Public
talking about having money.
employees retirement
Yeah.
system. Yeah.
But I still pay into it. Council.
Oh.
So you'll go back paying into that now.
Yeah, but you won't pay much.
No, but over the years it all adds up.
32 years and go out. Well, go out 1 more. Yeah, you got to get 1 more then. How many sick days you got?
She got Zippo's sick days.
Huh?
She got nothing.
What?
Because I was sick.
Oh, so she took off for you.
Yeah.
Turd.
Yeah.
See, my last couple of years, I probably missed a day a month, but it wasn't just for me, it's for my mom. I had to take her to
My
appointments.
sister
and
has
stuff.
like 200 and some days.
Oh yeah, I got a nice little check. I didn't get the whole check. Like I think we could claim 240. I think I claimed like 221
That's a
or
nice
something like
check.
that. Yeah. It was well, you only get a percentage of that. So I got 30% of 221 days, 70 days, something like that. But yeah, it was nice. I used it as an investment, and I think I moved it over, so it's still being invested.
So we got a final thought.
I do. I was just looking to see. It is 10 o'clock. I don't know about you guys, but I think today's been quick. I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, no
It
problem.
was fun talking about the Beatles, and it's fun talking about you surviving the liver, and we're glad you're here. Now, don't do anything else dumb now, all right? Don't go out and get hit by a train or a bus or something,
Donate your organs. The 11 people who are watching, make sure you.
Well,
donate
there's
your
more
organs.
than that. There'll be at the end of this, we'll have 1,500 to 2,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Our best show we've had is 8,400. Actually, I'm gonna let Frankie take up. Well, she's built up 9 days. It's because of you.
It's because
She'll build them up over the summer too. But anyhow, Frankie, I'm gonna let you have the last word today. Give us a good Beatles last word today.
Beatles' last word.
Yeah.
And in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make. That's what you get back in life, what you give.
So say it one more time.
And in the end, the love you take, so what you give out, is equal to the love you make.
And who?
That was the last song on the Beatles album. Well, kind of like the last song, but it's the last thing they said at the end of Abbey Road.
So who wrote that? McCartney?
McCartney did.
All right, guys, and with that, great advice to walk out on. Tomorrow we got Dustin from the newspaper, his little version of the newspaper, and we'll check it out. Hopefully he'll bring us new copies, and we'll give you the lowdown on it. Everybody have a great sunny day. How'd that happen?
No rain.